So this one is going to be a little bit different than my other videos because this one's a little bit more serious for anybody else who maybe can relate or probably can't relate. This topic right here just kind of hit home for me, and I just came up with it and just thought it'd be good to bring up for people who probably were in my same situation. Majority of my life, I only had a mom in my life. I did have a dad. My dad's still around, don't get me wrong. He's always there and always providing me for everything. But the problem is, they don't live together. I know everyone might be thinking, oh, look, the black guy doesn't even have a dad in his life. Yeah. Well, regardless, it happened. And he's still in my life, but not physically always there. To give you guys a little bit of a background, my dad lives in Atlanta while I live in Florida. So he's a couple hours away from me. The situation had to happen how it had to happen. I pretty much heard both sides of the story from a rundown of it, and to be honest, I don't put any fault on either of my parents. But how I was raised was completely different than being raised from a dad. Now, if you think that you need to have only a mom and a dad in your life, you'll be right, because having a mom in your life only can hinder you for the most part. So my mom alone had to take care of 4 boys, including me, had to raise them all. One's 30, one's 27, and another one is 22, and me, I am 19. So if you can think about the age gap between all that, you probably know that it's a little bit difficult for that, especially being all boys. Growing up with a single parent wasn't the easiest thing. Throughout my life, I kind of didn't have guidance the way I wanted to have guidance. I don't really know what guidance looks like with a 2-parent household. I grew up just fine. I grew up, I say perfect, but with a 2-parent household, I could have grown up a lot better and known things that maybe the average person would have known. And I just want to tell you guys this. People really think that it's okay to be a single parent. You don't need the dad in your life, or maybe you don't need the woman in your life. That is so far from the truth. You need both in your life. The man always will give you the advice you need to hear, while the woman will always nurture you and take care of you and coddle you. To be honest, there needs to be a balance between both. You can't have one. You can't just have the other. You gotta have both. If you're always coddled as a person by the mom, then you'll go about life not really learning your lesson and thinking that everything that happens, it doesn't matter because you're always gonna be protected. Now, if you go about life with a dad who's always teaching you lessons, then you're gonna have less sympathy for anybody else who doesn't learn their lesson. I've never had both, but I would assume having a little bit of both makes you a more well-rounded citizen. Not now. I'll get it to you in a minute. Don't worry. Just give me a second, okay? Please. Kids, I swear. Anyways. Women will always, maybe I shouldn't say women, mothers will always have this tendency to protect you, be there for you. They'll teach you lessons, but they'll more show you are always loved. And unfortunately, life isn't always like that. And that's where the dad comes in and gives you the lessons that you need to hear. Dads are those people that just tell you what's right and wrong and will tell you blankly. And you need to hear it too. Because if you don't, then you're going to be lacking. Now, enough about that. Let me just tell you the aspect of me growing up. Unfortunately, I did have to go through a divorce. Not me, of course. My parents went through a divorce. But thankfully, it was at a really young age. But not young enough to where I wasn't in school. So here's what I speculated that happened. Around 1st grade, or maybe kindergarten, my parents separated, and I never knew how to really take change, I guess. So I guess throughout kindergarten through 1st grade, I was very erratic and I had terrible anger issues. so bad to the point where it caused me to fail the first grade. Now, I know you guys might be thinking like, bro, how do you even fail the first grade? Yeah, well, it was bad. I threw desk, I never listened, I was always incredibly defiant and terribly recalcitrant, and also I always ripped my test. So in hindsight, I never really had a chance to even apply myself. It's not the fact that I was stupid, it's the fact that I had other stuff going on in my life that really hurt me. I'm not making excuses for any type of thing that happened. I'm just explaining it. But however, it did get better. Over time, I did end up getting better and learning as I went. But it took a lot more independence too. So let me tell y'all something real quick. Finances suck when you are a single freaking parent. You have to provide for your kid, you have to provide for the house, you have to provide for food, you have to all on your own. And if child support is difficult, then you're also going to struggle a lot more. I was even worried about the finances at 3rd grade. Sometimes I'd question if I would even eat. Some days I even subconsciously went to people's houses telling them like I was hungry. It was so weird. And I don't want to shame anybody for what happened because everyone was trying their hardest. I really do feel like I was affected the more I talk about it because this is kind of my first time bringing it up when it was all repressed. And it kind of hurts me realizing that this actually happened. But it got better. Throughout my life, I feel like I've just been getting better through living on my own, even though I live with my mom. And middle school got incredibly worse because not only did I have that independence in me, feeling like I could do whatever I want, I could pretty much do everything I want for the average, maybe freshman in high school. So I just felt like, oh, nobody can tell me what to do. I'll do whatever I want. I mean, I won't get into everything that I did, but I did things that I wasn't really supposed to do at the age I was at. And could it be because I had a single parent? Most likely. I just want everybody to know though, having a single parent is okay. It's fine. And I don't want anyone to feel like that's bad because things happen. But it does suck for the child. It's almost like they have a lot of repressed stress, anger, and sometimes regret and sorrow in oneself. For me, I had mental problems around 5th grade. And I'll be a little bit honest with you. I won't go into specifics, but it got really bad. Like to the point where I probably wouldn't even be talking to you if I was successful. It really sucked because I didn't know how to handle emotions and things. My dad was in my life, but he didn't know everything, how to handle things, and it sucked. I don't want to stress this video out too long because I can go on and on about my life and how much it really wasn't the best the more I kept putting things off. But I didn't have the worst life. I learned a lot of independence, way more than I think the average human does. I've had a lot of strengths, a lot of things that the typical person wouldn't have, I guess. But I did lack, and I don't want that to overshadow my successes though. But all I'm trying to say is for everybody who maybe didn't have a role model or 2 role models, just know it's okay. It's fine, it happens. It's unfortunate that it happens, but no one wants it to happen, but it has to happen sometimes. And I want you to know you are as special as somebody who has two parents. And that does not define you. And if you feel like some of it was your fault, it's not. It is not your fault at all. And I know that is so hard to intake because you're like, well, I mean, you know, if they didn't have me, maybe they wouldn't be like that. Who cares? Those are hypothetical. Whether she puts it on you, rather he puts it on you, or rather you put it on yourself, you are important and you are worth everything. And I want you to know that. Because sometimes I had times in my life where I felt like, was I even supposed to be born? Was it a mistake that I was born? And am I even worth being alive? But these questions that I had quickly faded as I grew up. And I'll be honest, I've had depression for like throughout my teenage years, since I was in 5th grade through finishing high school. And now I actually just cured my depression. So I just want people to know that you're special. You are worthy. You are. And don't let nobody stop you. Because let me show you something. My brother also didn't have my brother didn't also have a dad, but he is a really successful person. He's hit $1 million. He has his own business, and typically this is the people who I look up to who does stuff like this. He made this himself. This is something he made. I don't know if these are all his, but this is motivation. And I'm pretty sure some of these are actually real. But yeah, I just want y'all to know that you're special. And I know this is probably dark, but I know this is probably a dark video, but y'all are important. And I feel like I'm just speaking from the heart at this point. And I might make a part 2 on this. But you're important, and I just want y'all to know that. I love y'all, and goodbye.